Thanks for watching Film Buff. Really, honestly, it's fucking great.
Oh, hello, how's it going, guys? My name is Im, Film Buff. Alright, man, moving on to episode 5, season 2. Really enjoying it so far. Before I go any further, I need to thank all the amazing patrons. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. The Patreon's grown so much. So I hope you're enjoying, the early access stuff, the full-length reactions. I'm super happy I can offer those. I just finished episode 4. It was the mother of all cliffhangers, as Ymir finally shows her Titan form, and it cuts to be continued. So I'm just gonna get right into episode 5. Marco! Oh, this is great, man. I love you guys know I love a good flashback. Dude, the animation is crisp. Gorgeous. Look at those eyes. Gorgeous shot.
このままじゃ自分も死ぬって自覚があるんだよな。このまま死ぬつもりだったんだろう。なあ、ダメだろ。クリスタはいい子なんだから。この男を助けようって姿勢を一旦は見せとかないと。自分が文字通り死ぬほどいい人だと思われたいからって。人を巻き添えにしちゃそりゃ悪い子だろ。お前だろ。命を狙われた妾の子ってのは。なんでそれを。そうか、やっぱりお前だったか。たまたま耳にしただけだ。内地のとある教会で生活のために金品を借りて回ってた時にな。物騒な話だ。妾の子が偉いとこの跡取りになっちまって、いっそ殺しちまえば全て解決すると話をしてるのか。せめて名を偽ってつつましく生きるなら見逃してくれてやろうと。そうやって訓練兵に追いやられた少女がいるって。安心しろ。誰にも話してないし、この情報を売ったりしない。
Okay, it's starting to make sense now.
私を探すために訓練兵になったの。そうだとしたらなんで。
さあ、
come on.
似てたからかもな。
私とユミルの生い立ちが。
まあ、大体は
友達になりたかったの。
違うね、それはない。お前と私は対等じゃない。偶然にも第二の人生を得たが、元の名前を偽ったりしてない。ユミルとして生まれたことを否定したら負けなんだよ。私はこの名前のままで生かした人生を送ってやる。それが私の人生の復讐なんだよ。それに比べてお前は何だ。自殺なんかして邪魔者扱いした奴らを喜ばせたいのか。なんで殺意が自分に向くんだよ。その気合がありゃ自分の運命だって変えられるんじゃねえのか。
Ymir, much respect. Holy shit. She just turned.
二人とも。
She's quick. Dude, she turned, man. That orange light.
なんだろう、今の音。
私がその秘密を明かしたとき、お前は元の名前を名乗って生きろ。
Dude, Ymir? Holy shit, man, goosebumps.
自分なんて生まれてこなければよかったと思ってた。ただ存在するだけで世界に憎まれたんだ。私は大勢の人の幸せのために死んであげた。でもその時に心から願ったことがある。もし生まれ変わることができたなら、今度は自分のために生きたいと。
Get him, Ymir. She's tiny.
嘘だろ。ユミルまで巨人に。
あの巨人は
Holy shit, that's the same one.
あの時の
Is it the same one or is it?
クリスタ、お前は知っていたのか？ユミルが巨人だったって。
知らなかった。いつも近くにいたのに、こんな。
Oh, so she didn't tell her.
こんなことって。
But this is the promise.
ユミル。
でもユミルはなんか巨人の力を知ってた風だぞ。
ユ
Indeed.
ミルが人類の敵かもしれないっていうの。
No.
そりゃ
No.
こんな力持ってんだもんな。
No.
あいつ。
何見そぶってんだよバカ。そんなにかっこよく死にたいのかこのアホだ。今さら天国に行けるとでも思ってるのか。自分のために生きろよ。こんな塔を守って死ぬくらいならもうこんなもんぶっ壊せ。
Dude, Ymir just climbed the ranks. Right to the top almost, man.
あいつ本当に壊しやがった。
いいぞユミル。
This is amazing. Oh shit. Shit, man. Here I am getting teared up over Ymir. Yes!
クリスタ、みんなも探す。
ミカサ。
私たちに任せて。ミカサ。
後続は3回して周囲を警戒。他すべてで巨人が群がっているところを一気に叩け。死ね。やった。討伐数1。
Oh, that's right. He's never actually killed one of them in human form. I'm just speechless. Amazing episode, amazing show.
まさかユミルが。
she'll re-
ユミル
she can regenerate, right? Oh no.
私の名前ヒストリアっていうの
Historia. That's the name of the episode, the title. Man. This show just made me cry over Ymir. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Okay, man, that is... I thought that was incredible. I thought that was a fantastic episode, top to bottom. I think that's my favorite. That's my favorite of the season so far. I just loved everything about it, man. It's actually quite crazy that I got so emotional over Ymir. I find myself really attached to her now. And the crazy thing is it happened in such a short span of time. So much so that it brought me to tears a few times in this episode. First of all, her getting ripped apart. I thought, this might be it. They're killing her off. Knowing the show, it might have happened, right? So I actually legitimately thought this might be it. She's about to die, and that brought me to tears. And then right at the end, she's really beat up. Looks like she's about to die. I'm not sure if she died or if she just blacked out. So that brought me to tears again. That beautiful moment at the end. Krista telling her the real name for the first time. And that beautiful moment of Ymir just taking that in. She's got this, just a tiny smile on her face as she hopefully blacked out. I hope she didn't die. I really credit the writers, man. Just some fantastic character development. I'm super attached to Ymir, It's not too long ago I didn't care one bit about Ymir. But here I am, and she's one of my favorites of the show. Like, legitimately one of my favorites of the show. Top 3. Oh my god, these are the types of characters I love. Hard exterior, at first you think you have them figured out, but no. Under that hard exterior, there's clearly layers upon layers of intrigue going on. And now I got to see some of that, and I got sucked in, man. That's the type of character I love so much in shows. And I don't even have her full story yet, so I'm just super excited to find out about Ymir. And yeah, man, just the ending to that episode, the final 5 to 10 minutes of that episode, just incredible, man. There's that Gandalf-esque moment of Mikasa coming in at first, and then the rest of the scouts come in. Oh my god. And a powerful moment a little bit later on, as most of them are standing to one side, and they're kind of shocked to find out that Ymir is another Titan, a Titan shifter. So last episode, they had this whole thing about, or Ymir mentioned something about making a promise in the Snowy Mountains. They were there for training, and apparently a promise was made, and that really had me. That really piqued my interest, and it was so clear that there's much more to Ymir and Krista. So I was super happy they followed up instantly in the next episode. The first half of this episode, it was a flashback. And I love flashbacks because a lot of times in flashbacks I get a lot of backstory, right? And I love backstory, so I was down for this. Also, I got to see some familiar faces, the 104th. Anytime I get to see the members of the 104th, together, it's a blast. I got to see Jean. I haven't seen Jean all season, although it was in a flashback. It was still cool to see him. People like Marco showed up, so it's always great because there's so many different personalities, and I just love how they bounce off of each other. So it's always great fun to see them together. Now they didn't really show the rest of the squad too much. There's a few moments. And speaking of Jean and his absence in this season, I guess that comes down to the fact that he got a lot of screen time in season 1. Now they're focusing on some of the other characters, characters like Ymir, Krista, Reiner, Bertolt, Connie, Sasha. So I don't mind that. That's cool. That's fine. That's fine by me. I just miss Jean, but I understand that, now they're trying to develop some of these other characters, and I'm all for that. I'm loving it. I'm actually loving it that so much time is being spent on these other characters. And a lot of them, or all of them, are actually just fantastic characters, man. All in their own right, just fantastic characters. Also, that snowy setting, beautiful stuff, man. And the animation, some of the best I've seen in the show so far, man. Just gorgeous stuff. Alright, so let's get into it. Last episode, Ymir kind of called Krista out for using all this death around them as an excuse to get herself killed, to go out as a hero, And, this seems like something she's picked up because she's clearly been tracking Krista's progression, right? In fact, it looks like she actually joined up just because of Krista, because she knew about her secret and she kind of sought her out because of it, She was just highly intrigued by this. And, she felt that she could relate to this person. And indeed, she does relate to her. There's a lot of parallels going on here. She even said something about having similar backgrounds. Or Krista, I think, said something about, do you think you have similar backgrounds? She said more or less. That's what she said. But the new piece of information here is that she's illegitimate. She's a mistress's daughter. And that she cannot be allowed to succeed a powerful noble. And Ymir heard this in the church. And that takes it back to Pastor Nick. And, he mentioned the fact that they've been asked to keep an eye out on this person. Now I know this person is Ymir. Not Ymir. Krista. So Ymir brought up this idea of, being a good girl or a bad girl in relation to Krista. On one end, Krista is this, like I said before, I've only known her as this angelic, super sweet character that's always trying to help people. She came to Armin, Reiner, and Jean's rescue in episode 18, right after the female Titan fight. And then, she came to Sasha's rescue, she brought the food. So it's clear that she likes having this reputation of being this helpful person, that's always kind of there for you. But it's not that simple though, right? Because there is a bit of a bad girl side, as Ymir, mentioned it. Basically, Ymir is implying that Krista has a death wish. Like, she's trying to use situations to die a heroic death. And in this situation, she's using Das, according to Ymir. And you can see by Krista's reaction that Ymir has her pegged, that Ymir sees her. And more importantly, Ymir understands her. And I think this internal conflict comes from the fact that she's been rejected by her family. On one side, she's trying to be this super good person, trying to help people as much as she can, and have this reputation. And then on the other end, she's got this death wish. She just wants to die this heroic death, Again, I think it all goes back to being rejected, by her family. And maybe she doesn't think she's good enough. Now, Ymir said something really interesting. She said that both of us had a second chance. Now, I know about Krista's second chance. This episode really clarified that. But I don't know about Ymir's second chance. Does her Titan ability play into this? All of this just points to a potentially amazing backstory. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen in this season or if they're going to do like an episode, a special episode about it. I just hope I get to see it at some point. So this promise, she basically just wants Krista to take back her identity, to embrace her identity and take back her actual name, her real name. That transition from the snowy mountains to her jumping off of the castle. Oh my god, just incredible, man. And the background score, just, absolute goosebumps, man. I know I've heard this song before, or this track before, but it was kind of like, I don't know, it was a different take on it. Some of the things that she's thinking as she's falling, hate it for just existing. And that it would have been better if she wasn't even born. And the parallels really start coming in now, Krista and Ymir. So she feels that connection, of that rejected outsider. One of the things that she was saying or thinking of as she's falling is that she gave up her life to bring countless people joy. Now, see, that's not something that sounds like Ymir. This Ymir, at least, the one I know, that just means that she used to be a different type of person before, man. And clearly something has happened that's changed her into the person she is now. And this second chance, she's mentioned a few times now, it really describes her personality and her nature. Because up until this point, anytime I've seen Ymir, she's been this rough, around the edges, harsh type of person, right? She doesn't bullshit. She tells you like it is. And indeed, up until this point, it's been clear that she's the only person she cares about, herself, until she heard about Krista and she met Krista. And now it's super clear that she cares a lot for Krista and she adores her. It's much more than just a crush. But some of the things I've seen here really point to a different type of person in the past. So again, that's another reason I'm super excited for a potential backstory. Now, I keep talking about backstory. I might have seen some of it in this episode, because the moment she showcased her Titan form, this really like small, tiny, like monkey-like Titan, it triggered Reiner and Bertolt, and it took me back to that quick flashback that I saw in the last episode. And again, it shows me their friend kind of jumping in, pushes Reiner and kind of saves him, and in the process gets grabbed and eaten. Now the Titan that grabs him, it seems to be Ymir's Titan. How the fuck? And this raises concerns of her age, because in that flashback, Reiner and Bertolt, they're children, they're like little kids, and Ymir seems to be in that flashback, or Titan Ymir. Up until this point, I thought Ymir is probably the same age as Reiner, and that all of the 104th members are around the same age, give or take a few years. Some of them seem a little bit older, but I just thought, maybe by a year or two. Now, it's possible that that could have been Ymir as a kid, but she seemed really feral. She seemed like a mindless killing machine Titan. Didn't seem like a intelligent Titan. The ones like Annie, Eren, Armor Titan didn't seem like that at all. Unless, of course, it isn't Ymir at all. I think it is. I think it is Ymir. They wouldn't make that big of a deal of Reiner and Bertolt having that flashback to that moment. So yeah, that raises another question. The other question being, how did she get that ability? Because that Titan in that flashback seems really feral, like I just said. So it doesn't seem like it's the same type of controlled ability that Annie and Eren had. So yet another reason to anticipate a potential backstory, man. In the flashback, it seems really different. Of course, in the flashback, it's the first time I've seen a human, a Titan shifter that is really feral and resembles just another mindless Titan killing machine. But here, in the present, she's in full control. She has full control. And it becomes really clear to the rest of the crew up top that she's concerned about the structure. She's concerned that it might fall over. So she's and this kind of shows a different side of Ymir. But the tables turn a bit here, because now Krista calls her up, and it's a good kind of call out. She calls her out for caring too much. She's like, stop trying to pretend like you're a nice person. She basically gives her the license to maintain that selfish streak, and pull down the whole tower. And she's like the hype man. She's being the hype man, and she gets to her. She starts using the bricks. She climbs to the top. Just such an epic moment as she climbs to the top and tells them, jump on. If you want to live, just jump on. So just, epic moment after epic moment. But yeah, that brings you right back to the ending. I talked about, these final few scenes of, Ymir getting ripped apart, and then the scouts coming in. Just amazing stuff, man. I just absolutely love this episode. It's one of those episodes that allowed a character that I didn't care for too much not too long ago to become one of my favorites now. But yeah, man, I hope at the end she just blacked out, because she took a beating, man. She took quite a beating. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, please smash that thumbs up, leave your comments, let me know what you guys thought. Huge thank you to all the amazing patrons. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you're enjoying the early access stuff and the full length reactions. But yeah, man, fantastic episode. Let's move right into the next one. Thanks for checking this out. Take it easy.